Welcome back and namaste, Mindful Serenity Yoga. And this is Nancy. We're going to continue with our answering of questions. I've actually answered 4 or 5 questions today. I am on a roll. It started out because I was feeling a little bit bored and uneasy with myself because I'm going through the proverbial dark night of the soul, which is a part of all our um, spiritual journeys, and I use the word spiritual over and over again, very loosely because there is so much connotation around that word. But spiritual to me is tapping into who I really am, the essence of who I really am, so that I can be a better person. And at the same time I say be a better person, it is about removing the personal nature of person. Okay, I'm getting off track. Anyway, so I am been feeling a little bit distracted because of this, a little bit weighed down by the weight of this dark night of the soul, and looking for something to get me through it. So what I like to do is assimilate my learning. I like to teach. I like to share what I'm learning, and that brings me to this quest. So though it is a very selfish reason why I come here and begin to answer these questions, I do have a part of me that wants to share for altruistic reasons. Selfish because I want to learn and I want to assimilate, like I said, what I'm learning. It's all about going inward. All the learning is inward, even though I have studied for years yoga, both scriptures and texts, doctrines and dogmas, listened to masters all over the world, mostly by distance, of course. I haven't traveled. And done a fair share of writing regarding what I've learned. It's not an outward adventure, what we learn, our process of learning. It is an internal one. All these individuals have done, all these great masters have done, all these scriptures and texts and poems and theories from quantum physics, for example. What they have done is they've just pointed me inward to where the real teacher is and to where the real wisdom is. And we all have that within us. It's just a matter of being willing to go in. So that being said, I will come back to the questions. I will reach in to pick a question from the jar. Let's see what I get. Let's hope it's a goodie. What did Jesus mean by the kingdom of heaven is within you? Luke 17:21. What did Jesus mean by the kingdom of heaven within you? Yeah, I couldn't have got an easy one, eh? I don't know where my timer is, so I'm going to try to go without it. I, have always heard that as being the correct phrase. The kingdom of heaven is in you. But when I look up Luke 17, what I get something is the kingdom of heaven is amidst you or around you. But anyway, it comes back to this. The kingdom of heaven is within. And what does that mean? Whew, take a deep breath. Let's look at what the kingdom of heaven is all about. First of all, we're talking about kingdom. Talking about kingdom. When we think about kingdom, we think of king being in the kingdom. And that brings us back to this notion that we all have, or many of us have, especially in this culture, about God. God being this paternal figure with the long beard that's sitting on a throne, ruling the universe. Sometimes very loving, sometimes very wrathful, and seeking revenge for his subjects not adhering to his rules and his laws. So that is, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because I don't think that's what was meant, the more I get into my spiritual studying of things. But unfortunately, that is what many of us adhere to. That is the ideation that many of us adhere to. And so we think of this kingdom in that way. And heaven, of course, is the place where God reigns. It's not of this earth. It's beyond this earth. And it's where God is. It's far detached from who we are. So in this phrase from Luke, Jesus is recorded as saying that that kingdom is not outside you in some faraway place. And most of all, when we think about kingdom, we point up, right? And it's so funny, and Sadhguru says this all the time, it's so funny that we point up. We are on a globe spinning around in circles. Where's up? It seems funny. But of course, heaven to most of us is in the skies, and it's that spaciousness, that outer space that is surrounding us on this planet. So it is up and beyond. So up has a good connotation to it in a lot of ways. It's saying that it is beyond us. It's up, like energy flows up positively. Heaven is up, right? So this kingdom of heaven, which may not be the way we have been conditioned to see it as, is not outside us, according to this passage from Luke. It is within us, or amidst us, or amid us, I think. I can't remember the exact saying, but so it is part of us. It is within. So you know how I talk about getting to that wisdom that was within me. I'm getting to the heaven that is within me, because if we can remove our ideations and our dogmas and our beliefs and our conditioning about certain things, especially the way we look at God and heaven and kingdom, we were going to see things a lot differently. We're going to see that what we see as God is basically the source of everything, the creator of everything. But it's not necessarily a him or her or a guy in a beard or a king that sits on the throne. It is a energy, possibly, that is within all of us. And kingdom can be better expressed maybe as a dimension, as another realm, as another way of seeing things. Eckhart Tolle often used the analogy of the vertical plane and the horizontal plane. So vertical plane is up, horizontal plane is this way. Most of us live on this surface layer, a very superficial way of living. And we look up to heaven in hopes of being relieved of the suffering we're experiencing on the horizontal plane. Something better exists up there. But few of us take that vertical plane and go down deeper into the other part of the vertical plane that is still vertical plane, still heaven, which is within us, which is the true self, the soul, the spirit, the hidden essence of who we are. Here is form, here is non-form. Here is man, body, mind. Here is man, within what's deeper within the man, spirit and soul and essence and God. So we have this where we spend so much of our attention and our focus, and we're neglecting this. We will point up to heaven, but we will neglect the deeper part of ourselves, which is actually where heaven still exists. So it's the vertical plane. Heaven is within. What we're seeking spiritually is not just to go up to heaven, like many religious dogmas will say. It's to connect to that vertical line so we realize what's deeper in it, what is beyond the form, what is beyond this world that I see and this act that I'm playing and this idea of me and these thoughts and these feelings and these beliefs and ideations. What is beyond that? What is beyond that? What goes deeper than that? And that is the heaven that we're seeking. That is the dimension of God that we're seeking. It's not far removed from us, it's within us. But most of our lives are spent grasping from the external world anything that's going to make us feel better inside. This little me better inside, because this little me is the creator of this little me is the star actor in this little me is in the way of us going deeper. And so we really need to dismantle our ideations and our dogmas and our identification with this little me, this ego mind, this form, and see that there is more to it. God dwells within us, and that is basic truth in yoga. God dwells within us. And again, be careful with the connotation of God. If you still see God as this big man with a long beard sitting on a throne, it's going to be hard to recognize the truth of this idea that the kingdom of heaven is within. You're still going to be looking outside yourself for another form and another idea and another place that's far removed, and it's going to be at a distance. It's not something you can connect to. But when the kingdom of heaven is within us, we can connect to that peace at any time. We can connect to that divine realization at any time. It's inside us. What's blocking it again from us recognizing this truth is this idea of me recreated in this horizontal existence. It's in the way of us going deeper. It's in the way of us knowing what Luke transcribed as what Jesus taught. And we get hung up in an idea of God rather than experiencing God by going deeper. The kingdom of heaven is within. It's not outside us. Our peace can be found within. Our wisdom can be found within. Truth can be found within, not without. And we don't have to wait to die to go to heaven. We are going to have to die to be reborn, yes, but part of us that dies is the me or the ego. To be born into what? To be reborn into the true self we always were at those deeper levels. And we can observe we can go deeper and observe what's happening on the outside, happening on the horizontal level, and experience the whole picture better from there as the witness consciousness, as the objective observer. And we can see the me in action, and we can see how the me relates on the horizontal plane, and we can see how the me is putting focus on the vertical plane but misunderstanding it. And then we become one with the vertical plane. We become one with the objective observer. We become one with what is observed. It'd be an amazing experience if we can actually grasp the meaning of Jesus' words as transcribed by Luke. The kingdom of heaven is within. It's in our midst. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.